Now, another way scope creep can enter a project is through direct communication between the client and your developer. If you haven't got a communication channel set up and you haven't got good processes in place with your team and your client, a developer can just take a suggestion from a client and just start developing. That's a terrible thing to happen because it hasn't gone through the processes and nothing's been vetted. We did this a little bit when we first started out because we thought, you know what, that's how you make the client happy and we just have to keep changing. But when things are not clear and communication channels aren't in place and there's no good project management mechanism in place, then any sort of recommendation like that can throw a project off the rails and send it sideways. So having communication between a developer and a client should be to help ask questions, resolve issues, get clear on things, not provide new suggestions on development that should just overtake the things that are currently in place. There's a process in place to develop software, and that methodology should be followed with your team so things go smoothly. If you need to make suggestions or changes, if you're not reviewing something and the new ideas, then bring them up at another point in time so it can be added to the roadmap and checked properly. Don't try and derail a project and cut things off halfway through. And now, as a developer, you shouldn't be answering yes to every single developer client's question and saying, "Yep, we'll implement that. We'll drop what we're doing and we'll do that now." So having that clear communication and having a developer or a project manager that can work with a client well will make all the difference to your software. Now, if you're a startup or a founder or a product manager in an organization and you're starting to develop some software and you're throwing out these suggestions to your team and saying, "Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this?" You might be throwing your project off the rails and introducing scope creep when you don't mean to. You don't even realize you're doing it. So just take a step back and think about if you're doing this, and then think about how can you fix this. So introduce those as suggestions, and then they can be tabled and roadmapped later. Now, don't forget to share this with any startups or founders if you're not one of them, because I'm sure this will help someone out there to deliver the software that they deserve. And don't forget to like and comment.